I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Thursday, November 20th. Today, grocery price pinch.
Too steep, especially for seniors on a fixed income.
Where Manitoba sits, according to a new food affordability report, and what the province could do to bring prices down. Also today, what police are saying about a sexual assault at a hospital parkade and how the hospital responded. Plus, a glimpse into the city's history.
As soon as I started flipping through it, I realized that I had something really special.
A rare discovery in a basement that will be preserved for generations. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The anxiety over food inflation is high in Manitoba. A new report from Dalhousie University says Canadians are worrying about costs, and most are changing their shopping habits. This as the Premier promises a study on ways to lower grocery bills. Live with the details tonight is CTV's Jeff Keel. So, Jeff, can the province actually cut food prices for Manitobans?
One food expert says yes, it can be done, pointing to the GST holiday about a year ago that he says drove down food inflation. Chuck Jones is paying for his groceries and doesn't hold back when asked about the price of food.
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Debbie Sulveson agrees.
Too steep, especially for seniors on a fixed income.
The shoppers say worrying about being able to afford groceries is always on their minds.
It's the one thing since COVID that I have to think the most about.
I have to really be careful. I look for specials and things on deals, and I shop around. I move from store to store.
They're not alone. A new report from Dalhousie University shows food affordability remains a huge concern, with the majority of Canadians changing how they shop, cook, and eat to cope with high prices. The report says Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba show the highest levels of financial strain.
Manitoba would be a top-tier province, basically, when it comes to food inflation vulnerability and anxiety.
The report comes the same week Premier Wab Kinew says his government will take a deeper dive into costs. His throne speech Tuesday promised a study to try and find ways to help people save money on groceries.
My hope is that we're going to take this study to understand what is driving grocery prices in Manitoba so that we could come back to you by the spring budget with some concrete steps to help you on the cost of living.
Sylvain Charleswood, the Agri-Food Analytics Lab Director at Dalhousie University, says there are things provinces can do to lower prices, like cutting the sales tax from everything we eat, and based on calculations at his lab, eliminating inter-provincial trade barriers on food would also go a long way.
The average Canadian could save up to $300 a year, and right now it matters a lot.
The Premier also pointed to the previous gas tax holiday in Manitoba as one way they helped save people money. So, Marilee, we'll see what they come up with.
All right, looking forward to seeing. Thanks, Jeff. Tonight, we're hearing from the developer behind a 132-unit housing project adjacent to Charleswood United Church. The company spoke at a City Hall Community Committee alongside those in favor of the project. The meeting is still going on at this time. Frustrated residents sat in City Hall Gallery Thursday as arguments supporting the variance and rezoning of a large swath of land were presented. But Exemplar Development President Jazz Kalar says the building will be 55 plus and will fit into the character of Charleswood. Charleswood United Church member John Oldham agrees with the project. He believes older residents could use an age-specific residence like this to move into after they downsize.
My core message is this. People who have lived in Charleswood all these years should have the opportunity to stay in Charleswood in their older years.
Numerous residents opposing the project are expected to speak at the committee later tonight. Some have told CTV the project does not fit the character of the neighborhood, and they fear they'll lose their privacy if the tall building goes ahead as proposed. The court case of a man accused of 22 fires and break-ins around the city has been pushed back until next Tuesday. Martin Glazer, the lawyer for the accused, was in court today and says he's requested evidence files from police. He says once he has that information, he and his client can make a decision on how to proceed. Police announced yesterday 35-year-old Jesse Wheatland is charged with several offenses relating to fires at restaurants and constituency offices. None of the charges have been proven in court. A man is now charged after a hospital employee was sexually assaulted in a parkade earlier this month. Police say it happened the night of November 8th when a woman exited her vehicle at St. Boniface Hospital parkade. Officers say she was confronted by a stranger who trapped her between two vehicles where she was assaulted. The suspect eventually ran off and was arrested the following day after he was noticed by hospital security. A 27-year-old man is now charged with sexual assault. In a statement, the hospital's president and CEO says security protocols are being reviewed. A man is recovering tonight after police say he was hit over the head with a hatchet at random while walking down a city sidewalk. It happened along Ellis Avenue shortly after noon Monday. The 26-year-old man simply passed another man walking in the opposite direction before hearing footsteps behind him. Police say when he turned around, the other man hit him with the hatchet. He was able to make it to safety and eventually to a hospital where he was treated for serious injuries. A 20-year-old man was arrested the following day and is charged with aggravated assault and failure to comply. A new donation to Heritage Winnipeg is offering a look at our city street by street from more than 100 years ago. CTV's Daniel Helmerson has more on a collection of maps helping us navigate Winnipeg's past.
So if we go to
page by page, this leather-bound book tells the story of Winnipeg from a bygone era. It's an atlas published around 1910, and each map shows different areas, neighborhoods, and streets, right down to the house numbers.
These are hand-drawn. You know, it's like a drafting, basically.
Dan Seidman discovered the atlas while rifling through boxes in the basement of his family home. He says it likely belonged to his grandfather or great-grandmother.
As soon as I started flipping through it, I realized that I had something really special. It's cool to see where we started. That's what this is. This is near the beginning of what we kind of know as modern Winnipeg.
Seidman decided to donate the atlas to Heritage Winnipeg's archives because he believes preserving the city's past is important.
Putting things where they need to be, where they belong, people that value them. So this could be to somebody just a book, but to someone like Greg, this is an archive and has real value. So it was about putting it in the right place.
Heritage Winnipeg's Greg Agnew says these maps were designed by the McPhillips brothers, a land surveying company, and they were used as a reference tool by insurance companies at the time.
It's very detailed as to where all the houses are, where all the streets are, and a lot of instances where the water supply is.
He says now the atlas is a glimpse into the way things were, even if they don't quite look the same.
Not all the streets in this book are the ones we know today. They've been changed in some instances.
Agnew adds the atlas is a reminder our city's history is all around us, and he encourages people to comb through those old boxes carefully and not just throw things away.
If it's gone, it's gone. You can't replace it.
Daniel Helmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at our Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Well, not a lot, and that's a good thing. We start off with a clear sky, as you can see across southern Manitoba. A little cloudier up to the north with a little bit more intermittent snow making its way into the northeast. Overall, we're still well above normal for this time of year. The sun will keep on shining here in the south, and the temperatures will keep on rising. I'll take a look at the rest of the week and the weekend coming up, and then how things are going to change a bit as we get into next week. You know it's going to happen eventually, and it might next week. Let's take a look right now, though, through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. What a stunning sky. Look at that, 0 out there. With the wind chill, it feels like -5. Winds out of the west at 15 kilometers an hour. The pressure's dropping, and the humidity is 78%. Out in traffic on this Thursday afternoon, busy out on McPhillips in both directions, but moving well.
We are going to empower you to get justice.
New laws are in the works to crack down on the distribution of intimate images. We'll explain how the definition may soon be changed after the break.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Price-conscious consumers are helping to push sales up at Walmart. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more.
Price-conscious consumers are helping to push sales up at Walmart. The retail giant reported $180 billion in revenue for its third quarter. That's a 6% improvement from the same period in 2024. Walmart says more customers are coming in and spending more when they do. Its online business is also growing. The company's doing so well, it is raising its sales forecast for the year. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to $70.93. West Texas Intermediate crude is down to $59 flat. Western Canadian Select down over $1.50 to $46.53, and the TSX sank 371 points, ending the day below 30,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
The province is moving to expand the definition of intimate images as it aims to crack down on revenge porn and sextortion.
We have proposed legislation that will expand the Non-Consensual Distribution of Images Act to define intimate images to include nearly nude images and images where the person in them is not identifiable.
Justice Minister Matt Wiebe says the proposed legislation would also make it illegal to take or share nude or nearly nude images of a deceased person. Threatening to distribute intimate images would also be made a crime. In addition, it would give courts the power to compel defendants and internet service providers to remove intimate images or prevent their distribution.
It really just enhances the privacy and the safety of Manitobans because, as the minister alluded to, once an image is out there, that's really too late. Containment can be incredibly difficult, and so this is giving Manitobans greater control over their intimate images.
Today's announcement comes about a year after the province expanded the definition of intimate images to include those generated by artificial intelligence. Some sad news to share with you tonight. Manitoba Métis and Ojibwe playwright and author Ian Ross has died. Ross was best known as Joe from Winnipeg in local radio. He also made history as the first Indigenous playwright to win the Governor General's Award for English language drama for his play Farewell. Tributes are pouring in from across Manitoba, including from Premier Wab Kinew and the Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre, which called Ross a giant whose legacy will endure. His cause of death has not been released. Ross was 57. Today is National Children's Day, a day meant to draw awareness and action to protect the rights of children and keep them from harm. And the CNIB is using the opportunity to garner signatures for its Charter of Rights for Children.
We heard from participants across the country that we needed to provide support to our kids and families, not only inside but outside of the classroom.
To that end, the organization drew up a Charter of Rights for children who are blind, deafblind, or low vision. Broadly, it emphasizes early identification of vision problems, the elimination of social stigma, and implementing best practices in the healthcare and education fields. The CNIB says children with vision issues continue to face hurdles in the classroom, even with the arrival of modern technology.
While they might have a support person with them for part of the day, they wouldn't have that person the entire day, or they would be given a piece of technology and sort of left to their own devices and given an iPad and magnification and told figure it out without the addition of teaching how to use that technology.
Okay. The organization is hoping to gather 10,000 signatures for its charter by next month. You can head to cnib.ca to learn more.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
First image, I think, will be quite impactful for the audience when they come into the room.
As usual material for costumes, the upcoming dance production marking a big milestone.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Christmas with Johnny Reed.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and Winnipeg's contemporary dancers are marking its 61st season with a new performance.
That's right, Marilee, and it's performed in a costume entirely made of paper. Croquis runs tomorrow and Saturday evening at 7 p.m. at the Rachel Brown Theatre. You can also catch an afternoon performance Sunday, followed by an artist talk. The production explores the desire to create a lasting impression in a cinematic performance and is inspired by award-winning choreographer Ralph Escamillan.
What inspired me of doing this kind of costume with dance initially was just trying to figure out how do you transform something as remedial as packing paper into something really beautiful.
Tickets are available on Winnipeg Contemporary Dancers website.
The 2025 Country Music Association Awards were handed out last night.
And the top prize, Entertainer of the Year, went to none other than Lainey Wilson.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was just so tickled to be here hosting this thing tonight. I just came into here just wanting to celebrate country music, the love of my life, and I know the love of so many of y'all's lives.
It was Colleen, I could listen to her talk forever.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to that drawl. Yeah, no kidding. It was a big night for her, for Wilson, who barely left the stage between hosting, performing, and accepting the awards. Earlier, she won Album of the Year for Whirlwind, her second career win in that category, and earned the trophy for Female Vocalist of the Year, her fourth time winning that title. The legendary Vince Gill was presented with the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award, while Cody Johnson took Male Vocalist of the Year.
Video game fans have something to look forward to on the big screen.
That's right, Marilyn. Nintendo is giving us a look at the upcoming live-action Legend of Zelda movie. The actors, Bo Bregason, who plays Princess Zelda, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who plays Link. The Legend of Zelda is a wildly popular action-adventure video game series that was first released in the 1980s. The movie hits theaters on May 7th, 2027.
Oh, a long wait.
That's right. Not next year, 27.
Okay.
Circle that on your calendar if you have one that far.
I'm sure Colleen's going to remind you again.
I'm sure at some point along the way I can do that, yes.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Here is your primetime lineup. Your CTV News at 6 is preempted. Instead, at 6, it is the NFL football Thursday night pregame. And at 7, the Buffalo Bills take on the Houston Texans. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arbor, Manitoba.
A live look out onto the St. James Bridge. Easy going for folks heading northbound for sure. Of course, we're in the peak of the rush hour right now, so much busier for folks heading south. But overall, no stalls or crashes, let's put it that way, to hold you up over there.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back now with your complete Skywatch forecast. It was nice to have the sunshine for most of the day.
It sure was. We had a couple of cloudy days across southern Manitoba. So yes, the sun has returned, and guess what? It's sticking around, and so are these nice mild temperatures for now. But by the time we get to the long-range forecast, you're going to see how things are going to inevitably change. But let's just hold on to those clear skies for a while, shall we? Across the south tonight, we'll stay clear this evening. A little bit of cloud pops up. Overnight, we'll drop down to around -7, -8 degrees across the south. Up in the north, -8 to -11, your overnight lows. You see a little bit of light cloud picking up there. Still some snow up in the Churchill area, where some very strong winds will be gusting tonight. But until we get there, let's focus on northwestern Ontario for a moment. You can see those winds really starting to strengthen. They're still clear there for now. But yes, up in the northeast, we do have a low pressure up in that general vicinity, and it's whipping around all that snow. And as I mentioned, Churchill, you'll have more snow coming down tonight. Very strong and gusting northwest winds, like wind gusts up to 80 kilometers an hour. I'm talking in that vicinity. Meanwhile, down here in the south, we're clear for now. Then we get into the overnight hours. A little bit of cloud will pop up over the Winnipeg area. A little bit cloudier along the all across the eastern half of the province, north of Winnipeg. But we'll get some of that cloud cover here. But we'll get the sunshine back tomorrow for much of the day here in Winnipeg, and really the western half of the province will get more sun than the eastern side. But then as we get into the latter part of the afternoon, we brighten right up. High pressure starts to build in, and that will help to clear the skies dries right on out. But as we get into Friday evening, the next round of snow sneaks over the border into northwestern Manitoba, and then you can see this diagonal band of snow that really on the tail end there, the southern side, may carry a little bit of freezing rain. So watch out in those communities there. Into Saturday we go, and that snow continues to push off further to the northeast. Meanwhile, that sunshine will keep on shining here in southern Manitoba. So for tonight, clear this evening, partly cloudy overnight. We drop down to -7, still mild for this time of year. Winds out of the northwest at 10 kilometers an hour for most of this evening and really all of the overnight hours. Switching tomorrow morning, coming from the south but not strengthening, still light winds all throughout the day, really. A mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon with a high of 1 degree. And if that does feel cooler, it is a little bit, but we've been a little spoiled. But the normal high for this time of year is much cooler than that. 6 on Saturday in the sun, 5 under a mix of sun and cloud. Monday, then you start to see things changing. There's a chance of rain showers or flurries during the day, a better chance of snow Monday night. Into Tuesday, a high of just -2. Flurries are possible by Friday with a high of -5. Our weather photos take us first along the Seine River. Andrew took that photo this morning when he was out for his walk. You can see some of that ice forming there along the sides. And Connie says the geese just don't want to go. They're sticking around in Petersfield right now in the Interlake. Send us your photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
Well, put your thinking caps on and get those creative juices flowing. Beginning today, you can start submitting your suggestions for the city's snowplow naming contest. The city has 12 pieces of heavy equipment in need of names, 6 graders and 6 loaders. Entries are being accepted until December 5th. On the 8th, the city is going to publish the top 30 entries for each category, and the public can cast their votes for their favorites. The winners will be invited to City Hall in mid-January to receive a custom nameplate with their winning submission. The mayor says this idea came from other cities where this has been done, and machines have been given names such as Buzz Ice Clear and Snowbegone Kenobi. Those are good ones.
Very
I also
clever.
heard about Taylor Drift, which I really like too.
Darth Grader is pretty clever
That is,
too.
yeah. All right, kids, I can't wait to hear what you come up with. And Colleen's forecast says it's got snow in it, so
inspiration is on the way.
We'll be calling out those names to dig us out
Maybe
soon
some other
enough.
ones too.
Have a good night.